Welcome to this intro to Yin Yoga for beginners. My name is Katie. Yin Yoga is a slow yoga where we hold the poses for a longer period of time. Since this is Yin Yoga for beginners, we'll be holding the poses today for 1 or 2 minutes each. Yin Yoga targets the deeper connective tissues of your body, helping you to release tension and get a deep stretch. This introduction to Yin Yoga will also bring you into a meditative state, teaching you to sit with uncomfortable sensations and emotions so they will have less power over you in the future. There are 3 important principles of Yin Yoga, and I have included some more information in the description of this video. No props are needed for this practice, so let's begin in your favorite way to sit on the mat. Begin by closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Take a full breath in and a big breath out. You have arrived. The hardest part is over now. Take a moment to loosen up your jaw. Relax your facial muscles. Gently roll your shoulders back and down. Lengthen your spine. Let go of your hips. Drop your legs. Relax your feet. Even feeling the muscles and the soles of your feet relaxing here. Now bring your awareness to your breath, noticing the expansion of your body as you breathe in and the contraction as you breathe out. Breathing in relaxation, peace, everything you need in this moment. Breathing out tension and worry and everything you don't need right now. Continue to follow your breath for a few more rounds, filling your body up with everything that it needs. From here, bring your palms together at your chest, connecting your thumbs to your chest bone. Bow your head towards your heart. Take one more big breath in and really thank yourself for showing up and for doing this practice today. As you breathe out, you can gently start to open your eyes again and lift your head. We'll begin today in extended child's pose, so come to sit on your heels if you can. Bring your knees wide apart on your yoga mat and reach your hands for the front of your mat. Your head might make it to your yoga mat, but if it doesn't, you can bring your hands in underneath, making a little platform for your head to rest. Try to keep your sitting bones on your heels if you can. We'll stay here for 1 minute. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there are 3 important principles to Yin Yoga. The first is to remain at 80% of your capacity. Going above 80% of your capacity, even if you can go deep into the pose, over time can cause too much stress and even pain or injury to your body. So it's important, especially as a beginner, not to go too deep into any pose and always respect the limitations of your body. The second principle is stillness. Once you've found an appropriate edge, stay still in both your body and your mind. That means focusing as much on what's happening right here on your yoga mat, not fidgeting or moving if possible. The third principle is time, which is why in Yin Yoga we hold the poses for a longer period of time. We'll be here in extended child's pose for 1 minute in total. Before we move out of the pose, you might take a moment just to roll your forehead across the mat, forward and back, getting rid of any tension or kinks within your forehead. Now bring your fingertips to your mat. Use a breath in to push your upper body away from the floor, coming briefly again to sit on your heels. From here, we'll move into Anahatasan, melting heart or puppy pose. Hips come above the knees this time. Hands reach for the front of the mat and melt your chest down towards the ground as best you can. Forehead might make it to the mat here. Notice how this pose makes your body feel. And if you need to make any adjustments, such as shifting your hips, maybe making your knees wider apart, that's absolutely fine. If you feel any numbness or tingling within your hands, take a bend into your elbows so your hands are closer to you. Tingling can be a sign that we're pinching a nerve, which of course we want to avoid in this pose. Anahatasan is a great pose to open up your heart, your chest, your shoulders. It stretches your spine. So just notice where you're feeling this pose the most right now. Keep sending your breath into the area that's calling for it. We'll be here for 1 minute in total, remembering to respect your edge, remain still, and hold for time if you can. It's time to slowly release the pose, picking yourself up, bringing your knees together, sitting back into child's pose, this time with your arms alongside your body, your palms facing up beside your feet. Resting here in Child's Pose for the next minute, giving your body a chance to digest the poses that we've done so far, allowing your spine to round in the other direction. As soon as you can, bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the sensations that you feel within your body. You can start to slowly come out of Child's Pose now, bringing your fingertips back to your mat, inhaling to pick yourself back up. Sit on your heels or in whatever way is most comfortable for you to sit on your mat. Take a moment to feel whatever you feel. Transitioning into Straddle Pose now. Come to sit on your hips, spreading your feet wide apart. Remember, 80% of your capacity is your first edge, but if this feels too tight, you can always bring your feet closer together. You can take a bend into your knees if needed, and you can even have the soles of your feet on the floor in this pose. If your knees feel uncomfortable, simply clench your quad muscles. Engaging them will support your knees. Now inhale to reach both arms up, rotate towards your right leg, and then fold slowly over it. Hands land either side of the right leg, and with time you can encourage your nose to fall towards your right knee. Even though Yin Yoga promotes relaxation, relaxing is not something we do during Yin Yoga. We still want to maintain some activity within our body when we practice Yin Yoga poses. So begin by activating your feet. Not flexed, not pointed, just active. Actively press both seat bones into the mat, especially your left seat bone here. Taking it into a side stretch now, start to rotate your torso towards the left, reaching your left arm up and back behind you. Looking at your left thumb, make a big rainbow as if you're trying to touch your left fingers to your right toes. Really nice side body stretch, releasing any stress or tension that's caught up in your torso. Feet are active, seat bones actively pressing into the mat. We'll be here for 1 minute in total. Slowly start to bring yourself back to center, pausing to feel whatever you feel. When you're ready, we'll take it to the opposite side. Inhaling to reach your arms for the sky. Rotate towards your left leg. Exhale to fold over it. Body is active. Both seat bones, especially your right seat bone this time, is grounding into the earth. Find your breath. Connect to it. As thoughts begin to arise, ask yourself, am I these thoughts? Or am I observing these thoughts? Coming into a side stretch, this time reaching your right arm up and back. Rotate your torso towards the right. Rainbow your right fingertips across, trying to touch your left toes. But of course, that's not necessary. Releasing all those tiny intercostal muscles in between your rib cage, expanding your lung, releasing tension. Slowly start to come back to center. Pause. When you're ready, you can take a bend into your knees, bringing your feet to about hip width distance apart. Lean back on your hands, and as you exhale, drop both knees to one side. Inhale to pick them up. Exhale to drop to the opposite side. Repeating this windshield wiper motion for the next minute. Releasing any tension that might have been accumulated in your lower back or your hips. During these moments of movement, the mind can start to move too. So make sure it's staying here with you on your yoga mat. Feeling every sensation of your body, observing every breath. When you're ready, we'll make our way into our next pose, which is deer pose. Your right leg stays in front of you at a 90-degree angle if possible, and your left leg comes back behind you, also at a 90-degree angle. Deer pose is sometimes referred to as 90-90 legs pose. Of course, this is just a guideline and not a rule. So find what works for you here. You might notice that you'll tilt into your right hip. Try to avoid that if you can. You can always use your right hand against the floor beside you to gently migrate your weight back towards the left so you can feel both of your seat bones pressed into the mat. This pose is a great hip opener, really nice to release tight hips, to let out any emotion or stress that might be stored in your hips. It might feel quite subtle at first, but you'll notice with time, the more of these little sensations you can feel. Take a moment to lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back and down, relax your jaw, and breathe. You can start to slowly release the pose now, bringing both knees in front of you. Slide your feet slightly away. Pause. Feel what you feel now after deer pose. We'll transition to the opposite side, bringing the right foot behind you, left foot in front. Finding whatever 90-90 means to you and your legs. Keeping your feet active here, making sure you're not leaning too much to the left, that all of your weight, all of your energy is centered into the middle of your hips, the middle of your torso. Find every sensation that your body is presenting to you. Notice each breath in and out. And as the thoughts come in, remember that you only have to observe them. It's time to come out of the pose now, bringing your left foot back in front. Knees can come together, slide your feet away, and if you can, you might rest your head onto your knees or maybe onto your hands. resting here in Angel Pose. In Yin Yoga, we always take these counter poses or rest poses in between our longer hold poses. And as I mentioned, it helps the body to digest the poses that you're doing. And it also helps the body to absorb the benefits of each pose. Now with an inhale, you can start to lift yourself back up. We'll make our way into squat pose by bringing the feet to the mat, having your toes pointed away from you. Don't worry if your heels don't come to the mat here. You can always fold the mat so you've created a little platform for your heels to rest on. Elbows can come in between the knees, palms together. We'll be here for 1 minute. Squat pose is a difficult pose, but remember that you can do hard things. Find your center, find your breath, find what part of your body is asking for your love and attention right now. Give it that love by sending a big breath into it. Try to straighten your spine if you can, avoiding that round back. If you feel any pain or extreme discomfort, then come out of the pose. You can always work up to a 1 minute hold. We'll slowly release squat pose by shifting your weight forward, bringing your hands onto the mat in front of you, and slowly straightening your legs. Let out a big ah here if you need to. And bring your feet to about hip width distance apart, coming straight into our next pose, which is Dangling Pose. Grab opposite elbows and then bring your arms to rest on your thighs. You can take a deep bend into your knees here if you need to. Drop your head, relax your neck. Allow gravity here to stretch your spine, open up your hamstrings. Maybe you can even stretch your calves and your ankles in this pose too. We'll be here for 2 minutes in total. Relax your jaw. Find your breath. Ask yourself, am I these thoughts? Or am I the observer of these thoughts? It's time to slowly transition out of the pose. So bring your hands onto the mat and then take a slow bend into your knees, coming into whatever way feels best to sit on the mat. When you're there, let your palms face up. Pause to receive whatever you need to receive in this moment. When you're ready, you can begin to transition into Savasana Pose, coming down to lie on your back, moving slowly so you just bring one vertebrae at a time to the mat. Once you're there, allow your legs and arms to take up as much space as they need. Palms facing the sky. Savasana Pose is the only Yin Yoga pose in which we can completely relax. Spending time in Savasana at the end of our practice gives the body a chance to completely absorb the benefits of the poses that you've done, to form muscle memory so you can increase your flexibility and range of motion, to allow your lymphatic system to drain, and to allow your muscles to relax and your mind to become quiet. We'll practice Savasana Pose for 5 minutes today, but of course you can stay for longer if you can. Let's begin by loosening the jaw, softening your facial muscles. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Soften your chest and your belly. Drop your hips into the earth. Drop your legs. Drop your feet. You don't need any muscles right now, so allow them all to deactivate. And imagine your body just spilling across your yoga mat, becoming more and more relaxed. Thoughts may come, and that's normal. Your challenge here is not to engage with them, but to simply observe them like they're just on a film screen in front of you. You're not in the movie, you're just watching the movie. And then you might realize that it's not that interesting and you would rather not watch this movie right now. Allow yourself to fall deeper and deeper into this relaxation, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. If you are ready to come out of Savasana Pose, start to bring gentle movement back into your body. Slowly waking up again. And in your own time, you can very peacefully bring yourself back up into a seat on your mat. When you're there, bring your palms together again at your chest, connecting your thumbs to your sternum, bowing your head towards your heart. Thank yourself for showing up, for doing this practice. Thank your body for everything that it was able to do. Take one more full breath in, filling your body with everything that it needs. And as you exhale, blow out anything that you're not taking with you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes again and lift your head. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to Yin Yoga. If you did, please help to support me in creating more free content by leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, or commenting down below. I'll see you in the next practice.